Next we have an expression to simplify that involves fractions. And so we need to practice a little bit with fractions here. We have 11 over 3a plus 15 over 7b minus 3 over 4a minus 9 over 14b minus 39. Okay, so now we're looking to see if we have any like terms. Remember, like terms have the same variable and exponent. Well, these have no exponents showing, but we're going to say that the a terms are alike and that the b terms are alike and that 39 has nothing like it. Okay, so we've been collecting like terms by adding or subtracting the coefficients in our head because they were integers and that was easy enough. When we get to coefficients that are fractions, we must show our work. So for our a term, we have the coefficients 11 over 3 and negative 3/4. That's the coefficients for our a term. Those are the coefficients for our a terms. And for our b terms, we have plus, got to put these in parentheses, 15/7 minus 9/14 for our b coefficient. And then we have our minus 39, which will not change. It has nothing like to collect. Now, we need to remember how to deal with adding and subtracting fractions. We're subtracting these fractions, and we need common denominator. So the common denominator for 3 and 4 is 12, we discover. And then we need to remember, how do we get from 3 to 12? It takes times 4, so if we change the denominator, we must change the numerator. 11 times 4 becomes 44. We're going to write this two-part numerator over our common denominator. How do we get from 4 to 12? We have to multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply the numerator also by 3. So we now go from this expression to 44 minus 9 over the common denominator 12. Now that's all the coefficient of our a. We'll do some more work on it in a minute. Let's go work on the fractions here for our b. The common denominator for 7 and 14 will be 14. So 7 times 2 gets us to 14. 15 times 2 gets us 30. And then 14 needs no change, so 9 needs no change. So this becomes 30 minus 9 as our b coefficient. Then our minus 39 comes down with no change. Next, we did something like this earlier. Now we have to go ahead and do this work in the numerator. 44 minus 9 is 35 over 12a, plus 30 minus 9 is 21 over 14b minus 39. Now this is good. We have no more like terms. But we do have some fractions, so anytime we have fractions we need to check for simplified fractions. So 35 and 12, let's check factors of the smaller number first. 12 we'll divide by 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And 35 doesn't divide by those, so 35/12 is simplified. Let's start checking 14. We'll divide by 2 and 7 and 14. And 21 will also divide by 7. So 21 and 14 will both divide by 7. 21 divided by 7 gives us 3. 14 divided by 7 gives us 2. So that fraction needs to be simplified. And then we bring our minus 39 down. At that point we're finished because we have no like terms to collect and all our fractions are simplified. Let's do a simplify expression with decimals. 3.6x plus 0.25y minus 0.2x plus 5.4y. Okay, so we're going to look at this and say, do we have any like terms? Okay, we have the variable x here and here, so those are like terms. And we have the variable y and y here, so these are like terms as well. Alright, so now what we need to do is add the coefficients or subtract them. Because the signs are different, we're subtracting. So 3.6 minus 0.2 gives us 3.4. We keep the sign of the larger, so that's 3.4x. And then 0.25y, 0.54y, these are both positive, so we're going to add those and keep them positive for plus 5.65y. At that point, we're finished. There are no more like terms to add or subtract.